So right there, November 5th, 6 days ago, $68,000, and since then up 8 grand or 41% in the last month. So Bitcoin has definitely skyrocketed. What is happening, YouTube? My name is Mike. Thanks for joining me today on another episode of Health and Wealth. Today is a crazy day out there on the market. Some things going down, like in the Magnificent Seven, not looking as good, but in the Bitcoin world, it is skyrocketing. So today, I woke up, checked out the pre-market, turned on CNBC, saw that insufferable person named Joe, I forget his last name, talking about Bitcoin. And I went on to my own broker. I looked up MSTY. That's what I'm invested in right now. And boom, things were taking off. Now, I had already had an idea that it would happen because last night when I went to bed, things were getting pretty crazy out there in the Bitcoin world. Don't mind me hitting my laptop here. But yeah, it's been a really, really good weekend and day for Bitcoin. So I wanted to go over how MicroStrategies is doing today. I also want to go over how MSTY is doing today, talk about their monthly performance, their weekly performance with you, and then take a look at a couple different tweets from Michael Saylor himself, who is over at MicroStrategy. So they made some gigantic moves today that I think you in the community should know about. By the way, Tom Brady Green Jr. here, doing well out by the window for the whole weekend. I've got some new buds happening up here. This tree is alive and kicking. So let me go ahead and make my screen a little smaller here for you. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining me. Last night when I looked at this was $80,000 Bitcoin. So just today, up 6.93%. Absolutely amazing. It was hovering around 70,000 last week, and here it is all the way up at $86,000. Sorry, last week. Okay, so what am I talking about here? Look at that climb, right? This is the last 5 days. So yeah, 75,000. Let's just see this climb here. So right there, November 5th, 6 days ago, $68,000. And since then, up 8 grand or 41% in the last month. So Bitcoin has definitely skyrocketed. Let's take a look at the effects of Bitcoin on MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy owns a 1% stake in Bitcoin, but they're looking to expand that, and they did it today. And I'm going to share those details with you coming up here, okay? So an unbelievable day over at MicroStrategy, up 22%. The share price as of right now, 2:33. I'm on break, by the way. 2:33 p.m. $331 per share. Unbelievable. Like, that is unbelievable. Let's take a look at the last 5 days. 41%, 55% up in the last month. If you look at the last 6 months, 166%. And in the last 1 year, you would have 5 times your money if you had your money in MicroStrategy. Now, a year ago, a lot of the people watching this video may not have really heard of MicroStrategy. I know I did, but it wasn't like on top of my radar, that's for sure. No lying. Did you ever hear of MicroStrategy before MSTY came out? I know some of us probably haven't, right? And so that's okay, right? There's thousands of companies out there on the market that, and some of them that people don't know. Now, I posted the earnings call for MicroStrategy. I think it was now 2 weeks ago. I'll put that up top here. And I'm also going to put it at the end of the video. If you want to do yourself a viewing pleasure, fast forward all the way to the Michael Saylor portion, and then you'll understand what is happening today. And I'm also going to reveal his tweets to you a little bit later in this video, and you'll understand what's happening today with the tweets. Those correlate with what he says in his earnings call. So he put his money where his mouth is. MicroStrategy put the money where the mouth is. And they made things happen today. So Let's take a look at MSTY ETF here. No, I have, oh man, 39% of my portfolio is invested in MSTY. You guys, if you watch my second last video, I sold a covered call on Friday. I sold a covered call on Friday for December the 20th. So we still got a ways to go here at $34. So take a look at the price right now, $35.54. I don't regret it. I'm still going to have, 76 or more shares of MSTY by that time. And I don't regret it. So it made me $80. So I'm like the fund managers at YieldMax right now. Hey, I know how it feels, right? Getting capped out. So anything above $34 here on those 100 shares or the one call isn't going to make me any more money. So I'm happy though, because I still have 76 other shares that are making me money. So I'm capped out, right? I am capped out for those 100 shares, but that's totally okay. I knew the risk, and actually I said it in my video. My average dollar cost is $26, so I was happy with an $8 gain if it went to 34. And $8 times 100, $800. If you divide that by my account value at the time, that was about, oh my goodness, like 1% of my account value, something like that. But yeah, I was okay with that. I got that $80. I ended up buying Rocket Lab with that, which has been doing great too. So 5 shares of Rocket Lab with that $80 premium that I collected. So pretty happy with my decision. Of course, you can live with regret here, but all in all, I'm happy with it. It's all good. So yeah, 35.52 today, up 14%, really good. And this is when those credit call spreads come into play. We're going to take a look at that. I went ahead and opened up MSTY's play here on YieldMax. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Here's where you're going to make a ton of money this month. You should make a ton of money this month. And on that note, this isn't financial advice. I'm just kind of reading out loud what I'm seeing here. Don't listen to people on YouTube for financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And I don't even play one on TV. So take a look at this. Here's the synthetic option, $255. That's closing in 4 days from today. That's on the 15th. And again, the share price is $332. So that is looking extremely juicy. That's for sure. That should definitely help with the dividend's that's going to be coming out in 2 weeks from now. Oh, is it? Is it next week? Oh, it's next week. Yeah, this week is Coney. Next week is MSTY. Wow. So that should help with that one. And then we also have one call. So it's a $255 option here. So you can see that Mr. has blown past that one, big time past that one. Not the best call right there. Who's running this thing? Me? I'm not, by the way. I'm not. But yeah, we have the credit call spread here of $325. So finally, that thing is looking good. That might be one of the first times we've ever reached a credit call spread. They usually set those things so much higher. Look at this. We're looking at $50 higher, basically, higher than the call, right? So 9 times out of 10, that doesn't even get triggered, but here we are. It got triggered finally, so that's a good thing as well. I was watching a Retire on Dividends video this morning, and he noted that the MSTY fund managers failed on their weekly calls 7 out of 21 times this past 3 weeks. 7 out of 21. I commented on the video. I said if I failed 7 out of 21 times on my job, I wouldn't have a job anymore. Imagine, right? So let's just play pretend. Let's say the dividend you're going to get is $3, right? Imagine if they didn't fail 7 out of 21 times, how much that dividend would be. So how can they prevent themselves from failing? Stop putting their calls so close to the price of the underlying, which is MicroStrategy, especially in a bull market, especially in a Bitcoin bull market. They need to do a better job of their weekly calls. Yeah, it's YieldMax, not yield something. And so with this 255 sitting right here, they're yielding nothing because they're going to have to close that and pay money to make that happen. So, not good enough. 7 out of 21 is not good enough. YieldMax, you have to do better than that. Okay, it's the people's money out there. All of the people watching this video and anybody who's invested in Misty, we are paying you a lucrative premium to house our money. We want the job being done better. Yes, we love that we're getting paid last month $4 and $2. Let's go over it here. We love that, right? I can't get enough of it. $4.85, $1.94. We love it. But wouldn't it be nicer if it was 5, 3, 250, and then the 233 was a 3? It could have happened if the weekly calls were better. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's the negative side of things. It could be better. That's for sure. But all in all, I bet you it's going to be a huge premium again, or distribution again this month. Especially not because of what YieldMax did on their weekly calls, but on what happened with the synthetic option and the price move of MicroStrategies right here. What's the prediction? Don't listen to me on this prediction. I've been drastically wrong every single time, but hopefully it's at least $3. That would be ideal. Yeah, I'm just guesstimating right there. I have no insight. I haven't written down any spreadsheets or anything like that on Mister, but I just know that they've probably made a absolute killing when it comes to that synthetic option up there. Let's talk about Michael Saylor. So I read some interesting stuff. I actually wasn't following him on X until today. But Michael Saylor, I like this. The SaylorTracker.com needs more green dots every time that Michael Saylor buys Bitcoin. Sitting here, get your Bitcoin before supplies run out. All of that good stuff, right? But I wanted to read to you a couple tweets here. This is earlier this morning, 6 hours ago. MicroStrategy has acquired 27,200 Bitcoin for $2.03 billion at $74,463 per Bitcoin, and has achieved Bitcoin yield of 7.3% this quarter and 26.4% year to date as of November 10th, 2024. I love how he says we hodl 279,420 Bitcoin, and that was acquired for $11.9 billion at $42,692 per Bitcoin. Oh my goodness. Now, if you watch the earnings call, I think he said he wanted to buy $4 billion or generate income to buy $4 billion worth of Bitcoin in the next little bit here. So there you go. There's a huge purchase, 2.03 billion purchase so far of that 4 billion. And then up top here, our Mr. Treasury operations in the first 10 days of November resulted in Bitcoin yield of 7.3%, a net benefit to our shareholders of 18,410 Bitcoin. Holy smokes. CNBC, like I was talking about this morning. I am a CNBC fan. I do like Squawk Box, but my personal opinion is Joe has got to go. Oh my goodness, he's obnoxious. I'll keep going though. We think Bitcoin could be the next strategic reserve asset. And the pinned comment here, all the way back September 2020. Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber hornets serving the goddess of wisdom, feeding on the fire of truth, exponentially growing, ever smarter, faster, and stronger behind a wall of encrypted energy. So that's Michael Saylor. By the way, you can see my Twitter handle down on the bottom left, Health and Wealth Investing. And then that symbol is at Wealthy2034 if you want to give me a follow there. Trying to build up my X profile, and also you'll find notifications of these videos on X whenever I post these types of videos. So again, Bitcoin price 86,000 now, just over 86,000. Incredible. If you look at the last one day here, up 7%. Can't go wrong with that. So if you're a MSTY holder, you're probably a pretty happy MSTY holder right now. Payday coming up, hopefully within 8 days from now, we'll learn what the distribution will be. And then the X day happens a couple days after that. And then payday on the Friday of next week for MSTY. I'm in a couple different online groups, and a lot of people are asking, is it too late to get into MSTY? Again, not stock advice here, just my opinion. Who knows? Let's take a look at the all-time highs of MSTY here. So the all-time high is $42, and that was back in March. So $7 from here. But I mean, if Bitcoin keeps going up and MSTR keeps going up, then so will the price of this. I have seen, these are just like online forums, Reddit kind of stuff, people talking about, $50, here we come. So who knows? Personally, I don't know. I don't think I would put more money into this right now at $35, just because it's well above my average cost, which is $26. But it depends on your outlook. Are you planning on being with us for a long time? What if Bitcoin drops off the mountain and this goes back to $19? Would you be upset with yourself for buying this? If you take a look at past history, which doesn't indicate anything about the future, but if you take a look at the distributions, they paid out, oh man, what is it? $20 worth of distributions in 7 months so far. So if you're in it for the income, yeah, for sure, it could be a good purchase, but understand the risk of it. It could decline. It has all-time lows here of $19 that just happened, just 2 months and 5 days ago, 1907. So, be cautious, understand the risk. If I was talking to a friend right now and they said, should I get into YieldMax's MSTY ETF? I would tell them, it pays out an incredible distribution. It's up and down every single month. Right now it's on an upswing. So when you're buying on an upswing, you have to understand that there may be limited upswing left. Something can happen in the world and boom, it goes back down. So that's the risk. How can you stomach that if it did go back down? What are you really in it for? Are you in it for share growth or monthly distribution? These are the questions I would have them ask themselves before they bought into a fund that is closing in on all-time highs here, which is, $42. So put in the comments below what other questions you might ask somebody. If a friend asks you, what would you do? What kind of comments would you make to them about if they ask you for a recommendation here? What kind of comments or questions would you ask them to ask themselves? I think that's a really good thing to say and to think about, right? So, and again, I'm happy that I've locked in my profit here. I set that covered call at $34, so it locked in that profit for me. So I'm fairly happy about that for sure. So what I'm gonna do, I'll post the Michael Saylor, the whole entire earnings call video at the end of this video. I'll also post my last MSTY video. Thank you very much, by the way, for subscribing. We are getting closer to 2,000. We're under, I think it's 190 to go here. It's definitely going to happen before December 25th, 2025. I definitely appreciate all of you for being here with me. And Tom Brady Green Jr. back here on this rainy day up here in Canada. My name is Mike. This channel's name is Health and Wealth. Tune into these videos, and I hope you have the best night. Bye for now.